Hi friends, with Season 7 arriving next week, I thought it would be a good time to look at what lore we can expect to see coming in Season 7. I know lots of you are lore fans and you want to see the stories develop, so let's have a look at what storylines have been set up that could easily be talked about and covered in Season 7. Let's start first with a really touching mother-son story. So I want to talk about Mirage and his mother, because we know Mirage has some deep-rooted internal self-esteem issues, and his extravagant, flamboyant exterior, his voice lines, are kind of just a front to cover how he really feels. One of the hidden inner pains of Mirage is his relationship with his mother. You see, the backstory here is Mirage is extremely close with his mother. Mirage is the youngest of 4 brothers, and all of his brothers went missing during the Frontier Wars, so it left him alone with his mother essentially. Now his mother's an engineer, or at least was an engineer, and she's actually the one that introduced Mirage to his holo technology that he uses for his decoys. And he had a fascination with these pretty much because of his mother. One day he heard about the Apex Games while working as a bartender, and he heard about the wealth and glory that it brought, but he didn't want to leave his mother childless. And actually this shows just how important his mother is to him. But it gets even more touching, because his mother actually gave Mirage a set of custom holo devices, and she told him to follow his dream, even though it meant she would essentially be risking losing another son. I mean, that's a pretty amazing mother, someone that does that for her son. Anyway, this is the backstory. Now before Season 6, where we had Mirage Voyage, there was also a phone hidden there as an Easter egg, and when you activate the phone, you hear this voice message from Mirage's mother, Evelyn Witt. Let's have a listen.
All aboard! Hey! Well, isn't it the most beautiful woman in the world? I mean, I gotta get my good looks from somewhere.
Keep eyes on the new.
How you doing, Mom? Me, I'm perfect, as usual. Hey, get this. They asked me to take over the games for a bit during the holidays. It makes sense, you know, I mean, give the fine people of the Outlands what they want, right? Yeah, that's right, Mom. Yeah, I'm your son, Elliot. Yeah, of course, don't worry. I'll win for you today, always for my #1 fan.
Wings closing in 1.
Yeah, you go enjoy your pork chops. I know they're your favorite. I'm gonna go win a chance. I'm gonna go be the best. All right, love you, Mom. Bye.
Wings 4 and closing in 45.
What is REC?
I'm probably gonna have to
I
run.
don't know. How long has this been recording?
As you can hear, it sounds like Mirage's mother has lost her memory, seemingly suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's. It's quite tragic, and you can hear the sadness in Mirage's voice when he talks to her. Now, since this Easter egg, we haven't really heard much about Mirage's mother, or what's going on there, where is she, how ill is she, how often does Mirage see her, those kind of things I think we could definitely see come up in Season 7, and potentially we could learn more about his relationship with his mother, and a bit more about where she is and what she's up to. And one way I think they could link this in is with this relationship Mirage is having with Rampart. It's kind of like a really close friendship at the moment, potentially moving into something more. I feel like there might be a stage where Mirage wants to introduce Rampart to his mother, and that might be then where we get to learn a bit more about this story that was set up way before Season 6, and we just haven't really heard much about it since. So yeah, we could definitely see more about this in Season 7. Next, let's stick with the family theme, and let's talk about Crypto and his sister. We had some huge teasers at the end of Season 5 around Crypto and his sister, but since then we haven't really heard anything in Season 6. So that's why I think there could definitely be something coming up in Season 7 or later that carries on this story around Crypto and his sister. You can watch all the teasers on my channel, so if you go find them on my channel, you'll be able to find all of the 3 teasers that Mila, that's Crypto's sister, left for him. Put simply, she was taken by someone, but we don't really know who. Somehow she manages to escape her capture, and she's laying low, hiding somewhere safe. And in her final message, she tells Crypto that someone is watching him. Yet we managed to go through the whole of Season 6 without any clues to whom that might be. A lot of people think it's actually Blisk watching Crypto. As one of the people running the Apex Games, this might make sense, because he probably doesn't want Crypto to destroy the games. And we know that Crypto is secretly Taejun Park, and he was the one that destroyed the repulsor tower to serve as a distraction so he could hack himself into the Apex games. We also know that Crypto is a prolific hacker, and if you didn't know his backstory, basically him and his sister were just general software engineers. They came across an algorithm that turned out to be something quite bad. It rigged the betting in Apex games in favour of the syndicate essentially, and after this, that's when his sister was abducted, and Taejun Park was framed for murder, which meant that the authorities and the syndicate were all after him, carrying, heavy machine guns trying to capture him, or worse. So then he created this Crypto persona, and he's kind of lying low, hiding in the Apex games. And he's doing that to try and gather evidence and get close to the people that framed him. And that's kind of where those Crypto and Mila teasers linked in Season 5. But like I said, we then haven't seen anything since. So I think this is, again, another piece of lore we could definitely see developed in Season 7. Okay, so that's the family theme going. I've got a few more that I'll share with you that I think might be coming up in Season 7 in terms of lore. Next, we've got Blisk and Ash. So we finished Season 7 quests with Blisk telling Ash an old friend was back, and then they seemingly venture off together. We don't quite know where they've gone, but it does seem like they're up to something. There are hints that that old friend is actually Horizon. Again, go check out my video on my theory about human Ash, which I did just last week. So check that out on my channel. It'll give you an idea of why I think Horizon might be this old friend Blisk was referring to. However, we also know Blisk and Ash do have a history. They were both apex predators back in the day, and it was actually Blisk, we find out, that caused Ash to be broken into pieces. Although he did say it was for her, in her best interests. He didn't have a choice. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, because we know Ash isn't the forgiving type, but at the same time, they are friends. So are they going to work together? Will they turn on each other? And also, will we ever see them in the games themselves? Will they become playable legends? This could be something interesting to keep an eye on. Okay, and let's also talk about Caustic being the mole as another piece of lore that we could see in Season 7. Again, going back to Season 5 quests, we know Caustic was revealed as the mole, but everyone thought it was Crypto, and it seems the only person that knows Caustic is the mole is Gibraltar. Although it seems like Gibraltar never actually told anyone, because there are still some voice lines that make it sound like Watson still believes Crypto is the mole. That means all of this could very well be revealed in Season 7. Surely the other legends wouldn't be happy to hear that Crypto isn't the mole and it is in fact Caustic. Perhaps they wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time it does feel like this piece of lore could be further explored in Season 7, and it could be something that changes how legends feel about each other. So let's keep a lookout for that one. My final one I thought I would think about as something that could be developed in Season 7 is Lifeline and Octane's upbringing. You see, Lifeline and Octane were two childhood friends that both grew up on Persephone, and they seemingly spent a lot of time in Olympus. We know their parents are very rich and they're both from elite families. However, we don't really know much apart from this, and we don't know what their upbringing was like. We do know that Lifeline was the one that got Octane his legs, and we do know that Lifeline wasn't really happy with what her parents were up to in terms of how they made their money. Now, there was again a teaser at the end of Season 5 quests about Lifeline and Octane talking about Darian and Duarte, which Ash was the one that said these names when they rebuilt her. It's possible that these two names are actually the fathers of Lifeline and Octane respectively, so we might actually see Lifeline and Octane reuniting with their families, which again would be quite interesting because we haven't seen much about Lifeline and Octane's backstory in terms of the lore so far. I will give some information on Season 7 that I know about, because I hear that the quests for Apex Legends Season 7 will be in the same comic book format as Season 6, and they'll be centered around Lifeline and Octane. So I do believe it will be around Lifeline and Octane coming back to Olympus and Persephone, and potentially them seeing their families again. Anyway, these were just some of my thoughts on what lore we might see in Apex Legends Season 7. Let me know what you think we might see, or even what you would like to see in terms of lore in Apex Legends Season 7. I'm really interested to hear, so let me know in the comments down below. By the way, Did you know I stream every Saturday at around 7 PM UK time? Most of these I'll actually be playing with anyone that wants to play with me, so you can actually join in with me and we can play some Apex Legends together. So come join me for my next stream on Saturday. I look forward to seeing you there.